The analogy I like to give to someone who's never heard of it is it's a weird jumble between chess and poker. Chess in that each of the different cards are going to interact uniquely and have their own equally important effects. And then poker in that each hand is unique as you're shuffling and you're never going to have the exact same game of Magic twice. And that's essentially Magic the Gathering.
There's a couple different ways to play Magic, and the most popular one is called Commander.
So Commander is one of the most popular casual formats of the game. It features 100 cards where every card is only one of a piece.
It started with a bunch of dudes playing kitchen table Magic with cards that, I guess backing up, so like the different ways to play it, the most traditional way is Standard, where only certain sets are able to be played in these events at a time, then they rotate out. Well, those guys who invented Commander had all these cards sitting around that they can't play, and they're like, I love those cards, let me play with them anyway.
I want to say there's over 25 to 30,000 unique cards over the game's 26-year history, so there's infinite combinations for a Magic deck.
Magic, top tier, you play it by the rules conventionally. Socializing and just playing with your friends. Lots of different rules. We have a guy that plays with a deck that the cards aren't even legal. He plays with like a My Little Pony card just for shits and giggles.
A crazy story, when I was like 14 or 15, I was looking for a hobby and I tried everything. I tried model cars, I tried all kinds of video games, but nothing really fulfilled me. And then I taught myself how to play Magic, taught my little brothers how to play Magic, and fell in love from there.
Once I got into college, that's when I got really serious. Like I played in middle school, like with my buddy on the school bus or something, but college, I met a bunch of guys that like we would just hang out. Back then I was like, I smoked cigarettes, and we were only allowed to smoke in a certain area. And so while that was like became the ritual, we would smoke and we would play our Magic.
I started, I want to say, sophomore year. My buddy kind of like played it, and then there was a group of people at school that played it. And so he was like, yo, come with me. We're just gonna go, play a couple games, see if we have some fun. We got in, it was awesome.
So I had always like collected like Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards as a kid, but I kind of stopped around everybody else. But when I got to community college, one of my buddies invited me out to a pre-release for Magic. It was very nostalgic to like have cardboard in my hands again, so I was like, yeah, let me come out, let me play. And it just went up from there. Like it was super fun. Like the game's called Magic the Gathering, but it's like really that gathering is like the part that got me.
I love that the game's always changing, and I also love the community. I've met a lot of my best friends playing this game. That's the cool thing about the game that I really enjoy too, is that there's no specific demographic for the people that play this game. I've met literally all kinds of people playing, and that's really beautiful to me.
It's not like an exclusive thing. Like you don't have to be a basement breather. Like you'll find like putting in like high school like clique groups, like the jocks will be playing it now. Nerdy content is starting to become more mainstream. So it's super cool.
There's the meme guys, the big guys, and all they do is go play Magic, and then there's like me and Josh. Me and Josh will go out and we'll go on like a double date and we'll eat sushi and we'll talk about stuff that's not even related to Magic. Me and Alan will go to the skate park and we'll skate. Me and Chris did a workout the other week. And so it's different people that you wouldn't expect. Like me, I don't look like a nerd dude. Like I was on varsity basketball, tennis, football, track. I like to be active and I love sports. But my mind is going real fast. I like the pace of Magic to be able to do all that stuff.
I like talking. As you can tell, I can talk all day, no problems with that. And so it allows me to do that without having to like choose a specific topic.
There's no real like awkward small talk because you already have that icebreaker that's like, oh, well, we're sit and play a game. What's your favorite deck to play? What's your style? What's that kind of thing? And you can tell a lot about a person by the deck they build. So it sort of like skips that awkward introduction stage, and it's just like, hey, I'm so-and-so, this is my deck,
If the person who's teaching you knows how to teach and won't just throw everything at you, you'll get the basics down in about half an hour, I'd say. It's actually scientifically proven to be the most complicated game ever made, which I know is scary at first, but it's one of those things, it's kind of like just about any other competitive game where the basics are really easy to pick up, and then the skill gap goes whenever you want to start learning more advanced tactics and stuff like that.
You can find, if you're into, this type of thing, you can find whatever niche that you like about this kind of thing. And you can do it usually for not that much money.
There's a lot of people saying, I don't have the money, but at the end of the day, you can show up to most shops. Like, I've got 6 decks. If you want to play, you can just borrow some of my cards. You don't need to have your own. You can go to any shop, guarantee you'll have a person that'll be willing to let you play with one of their cards.
It's not a pay-to-play kind of game, and a lot of people view it that way, especially when they see like people who show off on like Instagram, like, oh, I have this card, and oh, well, that's a $200 card, or like I have decks that, don't tell my wife, are worth like $2,000, of just cardboard, and people see that and like, oh, well, I'm not going to spend $2,000 on cardboard. But you don't start there. You start with a $10 deck, a $20 deck, and build up. And so you can just grab a deck like that and show up. And then as you get to know other players and stuff, they're like, oh, well, you should try this out. And especially this community in New Braunfels, I've noticed a lot more are more accepting of new players. And like, oh, well, here's some cards. Like, here's some old cards that I have that I know will make your deck better.
I'd say give it a shot. Don't let the paywall scare you. I promise it's a myth. Granted, cards can be expensive. That's just how it is, supply and demand, stuff like that. But you can definitely get away with playing on a budget. I don't think budget is a true restriction to play Magic. And on top of that, it's just such a fun game with a great community. I'd say at least 99% of the people I've met playing this game are just excellent people to hang out with outside of Magic, and I've met some of my best friends. Hell, I met my coworkers and boss who I love dearly playing this game, which I think is just such a blessing. So I'd definitely give it a shot if I was you.
No, it's just real fun. If you want to get into it, you can, go ahead. Like, people usually are welcoming. If you don't want to get into it, don't, but there's no reason not to try.
Don't be afraid to say hi. Like, everybody, like I said, it's the gathering. Like, everybody just wants to get together and play.
The Bobcat baseball team is ranked number 20 in the NCAA with a record of 19-5. This is the best record the program has ever started the season with, and it's the highest ranking ever for the program. Fans are pleased with how the team is playing.
Oh, man, I want to get to the ballpark every chance I get when they're home. I'm excited, really excited. This is the best game in town right here. It's a lot of fun here at the ballpark.
So I came to school here in 2006, so I've been a fan ever since. I'm watching everything online. Like, if it's not on TV, I'm watching all the stat updates. I'm all about it.
Fans are hoping the Bobcats can finish the season strong and make a run for the College World Series. For Bobcat Update, I'm Orlando Smart.
Left field, Jose Gonzalez, center field, Pittman.
At the flea market, San Marcos locals have a chance to shop and enjoy live music. It was co-founded by Creighton Coyne and Will Acosta in affiliation with the San Marcos Mermaid Society and Mr. Green's Garden Center.
Just saying that the flea market is a great place also for local artists in general of all types of fields too. It's like any painters and sculptors and artists. It's a beautiful place, just people to come together and get creative.
And I think that's the ultimate goal, is just to have a really great environment for people to come and sell their stuff, shop around, buy some things, hang out with friends, make new friends, eat some great food, see a cave if they want,
Since June of last year, the flea market has been held at Wonder World Cave and Adventure Park.
And I feel like we help each other mutually, and that's the end goal. We bring people to the cave brings people to us, and then it's just one big party.
The flea market supports a variety of businesses. For a fee of $20, vendors can set up their shops for a day. Rob Rourke, also known as The Wiz, is a San Marcos business owner and KZSM radio personality. He participates in the flea market weekly and sells a variety of unique items.
So I try to bring out records. They know that I've got records, $5 each, 3 for $12, you know, and make a deal. And books don't sell in San Antonio. All of these books on this table over here, or a good many of the books on the table, were rescued. They were in a they were in a bin. Somebody had thrown them out.
The San Marcos Flea Market is held every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For Bobcat Update, I'm Astrid Smith.
The Student Association for Campus Activities at Texas State hosts Market Days on the Quad 3 times each semester to help promote businesses in the community. Businesses like to participate because the gathering helps build their clientele.
Market Days at Texas State, it's been the main market I've done for almost a decade, and it's helped me go from student to locally made artist.
Texas State students benefit from the lower prices to be found at Market Days.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to get you guys out there. I mean, we know you guys are, you know, college kids. That's why we're having the really highly discounted rate tickets. Unbeatable prices, honestly.
The next Market Day will be Wednesday, March 30th. For Bobcat Update, I'm Kelly Alexander.